Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. So nice to see many of you from different countries and different time zones. Welcome to Ka Homeopathy Study Group Pro Bono webinar hosted by Kavita Holistic Approach. Before we start, we would thank Universe for giving us this great opportunity with Gayatri Mantra chanted by Professor Regina from Brazil.
Om Bhurvat Swaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bargo Devasya Jimahi Jiyo Yona Prachodaya. Blessings to the universe.
Thank you, Professor Regina. And I would like to take the privilege to say that our CAST study group is a very unique homeopathy pro bono study group from the United States of America, which formed to unite world renowned practitioners throughout the globe. CAST's mission and vision are very unique to inspire young homeopaths, mentor, provide excellence for educational purposes using holistic approaches via webinars which provide professional continuing educational homeopathic credits for practitioners. We follow the principles of classical homeopathy and invite speakers for HNI accredited webinars too. We value and treasure the human collective as our honorable peers. We provide merit certificates for spreading the light of homeopathy worldwide while celebrating stage 4 cancer survivors throughout our inspirational book talks. These webinars are for educational purposes only and see expert homeopath for treatment. This is Kavita Kukunur, board certified homeopath from Michigan, USA, President and CEO of Kavita Holistic Approach, founder and director of Ka Homeopathy Study Group. I am outreach coordinator of CHC PR committee encouraging homeopaths to become CHC certified. I am member of Kevin Friendly Foundation, a non-profit organization that helps to serve poor people in greater needs in India. I thank Ka Homeopathy Study Group entire team for their continuous support. This webinar is moderated by Ka family, Dr. Sweta Singh, Chief Administrator, and Professor Regina Rianelli. It is being recorded as we speak and we are live on Facebook. We have jot form posted in chat to get CEO. Please fill the form to receive certificate. If you are watching on live webinar on Facebook, you can email us to castedgroup@gmail.com. Today's topic is about tautopathy in homeopathy practice, and we also have information about LMHI. Tautopathy is a scientific method used in treating health issues using the identical harmful agent in homeopathic potentized form to remove the bad effects of toxic drug vaccines or medications, to name few, or environmental exposures. Now we see many people using multiple drugs for each condition they suffer, and they have been using for several years, and where they are having drug induced symptoms. Today, we will learn more about how homeopathy plays a role in handling multiple drug toxicity from our honorable guest speaker. It is great privilege to introduce our honorable speakers for today's webinar, Dr. Kritik Shah and Dr. Aljane. Dr. Kritik Shah, MD in Homeopathy, PG, IA, CH Greece, is the Chief Consultant Homeopath and Medical Director at Gujarat State's first private Sri Sai Homeopathic Hospital, Anand, working with a team of 9 homeopaths in the firm footings of Dr. Samuel Hahnemann. Dr. Kritiksha has studied homeopathy intensively for over 15 years since 1998. Dr. Shah is internationally acclaimed physician, researcher, teacher. His huge practice supported by clinical research data, statistics, scientific documentation makes him unique in the homeopathy world. His hard work, professional commitment, sincerity, dedication arise from sheer desire to help patients. Dr. Kritisha is a postgraduate in homeopathy, having organ of medicine as a principal subject. Is a postgraduate from International Academy of Classical Homeopathy under the directorship of an alternative Nobel laureate Professor George Vithalgas, Greece, and former coordinator of e-learning program India from International Academy of Classical Homeopathy. He is the main educator in the different courses conducted by Samuel Hahnemann Academy for Homeopathy, SHA, which is an academic division of Sri Sai Homeopathy Hospital. Dr. Kritik Shah has, for his outstanding contribution in homeopathy, has received Bharat Gaurav India Pride Award at British Parliament, London, UK. He has conducted over 98 webinars, several seminars and conferences, and received so many awards from great people. There is so much to say about Dr. Shah. For more information, please visit drkritiksha.com. At the end of the webinar, we welcome a very special guest that is from LMHI Vice President Dr. Ajane. So stay tuned and thank you so much for your precious time and undivided attention. Let us welcome Dr. Shah to our webinar. Dr. Shah, please.
Yes, ma'am. Well, thank you very much for the wonderful introduction. And over and above to that, I would like to say that I am a student of homeopathy and a proud child of Samuel Hahnemann, because whatever I have received today in my career is because standing at the lotus feet of Samuel Hahnemann and getting fruits of his wisdom every day. So thank you very much for the introduction. Uh, uh, and hello everyone. A warm welcome to you in this wonderful Kha seminar. And I want to welcome everyone from Sai Academy as well. Madam, can I have a permission? Should I start?
Yes, please.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I before beginning this presentation, I would also like to welcome LHMI Vice President Dr. Altunay as well. It's really wonderful to have you here, ma'am, as well, along with me in this event. Well, but today my topic is something which is very close to my heart, that is tautobethy in homeopathic practice. Before beginning my lecture, I always do this, and I will be very happy that you read Hahnemannian Oath along with me. Just a second, I'm not able to see the camera. Yeah, okay. On my honor, I swear that I shall practice the teachings of homeopathy, perform my duty, render justice to my patient, and help the sick whosoever comes to me for treatment. May the teachings of Master Hahnemann inspire me, and may I have the strength for fulfillment of my mission. Jai Hahnemann, Jai Homeopathy. I think there is a problem. Okay, yeah. Okay, so this particular topic on tautobethy is basically divided in three parts. Point number one, where Hahnemann has criticized allopathy and has he has raised certain serious points about side effects of the allopathic drugs in the healthcare, in the treatment of diseases. But as his life was having so much of work to do, there are some things which he was wanting to do. If you read his lesser writings, if you read his theory of chronic disease along with this organon as well, which he couldn't do it in the span of life, and that the remaining part has been done by Dr. R.P. Patel, who is considered to be father of homeopathy. So father of tautobethy. So the first of this, this is from the organon. There are very, very serious points, very, very important points what Hahnemann has raised in organon, where there are very specific. I think there is a problem with the net. Ma'am, am I audible to you clearly?
Yes, you are audible and visible.
I don't know,
yes.
This screen. Just a
No,
second.
we can see your video as well as we can see the presentation.
I don't know what is the reason I am not able to change the presentation. Just a second, ma'am. Okay. Okay. So Hahnemann was a great allopathic doctor, and that's why he became a great homeopathic doctor. So the basic difference between allopathy and homeopathy is like Allopathic science took the concept of reductionism. From the body, they divided into system, and that's why we see specialist. I'm a gynecologist, I'm a pulmonologist, I'm a nephrologist, I'm a neurologist, I'm a dermatologist, I'm a gynecologist, etc., etc. So allopathic science took the concept of reductionism, where Hahnemann was aware that there is a lot of limitations in future. He took the concept of holism. As body is made up from one cell, whatever symptoms appeared on the different parts of the body are scientifically interconnected. And that's why one of the major reasons why proving on animals, the fundamental of trials of allopathic drugs is changed with proving on humans as a trial for the homeopathic drugs. As a result, we get lot of important information which would have been lost if the same theory of proving on animals would have been applied. So homeopathy, working with a funda, clear cardinal principle, clear rule that if mind is getting deranged, then only body will get deranged. And as a result, we believe, and it is the fact, that homeopathy is mind, emotion, body, and spirit medicine. Reading Organon more than 350 times, I always believe that the fundamentals, what you call the holism, physical layer the outermost, emotional layer the middle, mental level the innermost, but there is a level inner to the mental level that is called spirit level of spirit, vital level, from where the energy comes into us and we are alive, we are living our lives. So this, with this paragraph 13, where Hahnemann talks about allopathic drugs, and allopathic concept of disease is something which is separate from the living whole, from the organism, where he tells that disease is particularly located to one part only, and as a result treatment should be directed to one particular part only, and that is a materialistic concept. That's what he said, a truly mischievous non-healing art. And that is aphorism 13, from where the concept of tautopathy starts. Then aphorism 37, where Hahnemann tells very clearly that allopathic drug, you take it's a simple allopathic drug, ordinary allopathic drug, or the violent allopathic drugs are known to produce dangerous effect on the body because of the dissimilarity. So here Hahnemann, the paragraph 37, aphorism 37 is actually in two parts. One is ordinary allopathic treatment, what you call simple drugs, allergy drugs, what you call paracetamol, simple drugs. They never cure, but at the same time they are not too violent in character, so they do not produce side effect as well. But the opposite, the second part, if treated with violent allopathic medicines, other diseases will be formed in place which are more difficult and dangerous to life. So here, what you call excess of taking of what you call painkillers will end up into peptic ulcer, will damage the kidney, will damage the what you call liver, what you call typical the acid peptic disease as a side effect of the allopathic drugs, as well as with the stress. Steroids, avascular necrosis of the bones. Antibiotics destroys the normal flora. So what Hahnemann, normal flora in the intestines. So what Hahnemann tells here is that drugs which are violent allopathic remedies does not help but actually harm. And that is the present scenario with serious medical illnesses. Simple statin, the cardiac drug, atorvastatin, rosuvastatin, or any cardiac drug you take from statin category produces gallstones. So there are so many drugs. What Hahnemann tells with this reference to aphorism number 37, where one is ordinary allopathic medical treatment never cures but don't produce side effect because they are very weak drugs. They are not too violent. And second is violent drugs producing vicious side effect on the body. And from 37 to Hahnemann tells about 41st aphorism, where the concept, what is the concept with allopathy? You have to take the allopathic drugs every day. Every day you have to take blood pressure medicine. Every day you have to take thyroid medicine. Every day you have to take diabetes medicine. Every day you have to take whatever medicines. Right? So as a result, Hahnemann has used a beautiful word, constant repetition. See, I've highlighted in a bigger font as well, bold and bigger. That is what is daily poisoning. That is what is daily poisoning produces a new disease, produces a complex disease. Simple disease become complex, complex become incurable, and complex incurable become even fatal. So with this, Hahnemann tells very clearly, steroid, if you take it for long time, produces side effect. Antibiotic, you take it for long time, produce side effect. Painkiller, you take it for long time, produces side effect. Constant repetition. Hahnemann has used the word constant repetition. Toxic cardiac drugs, say for example, lanoxin, you have to have a break of 2 days in a week. Otherwise, it will produce toxicity. So what Hahnemann tells here, that constant repetition, constant poisoning will make the disease complex, complex to incurable, and complex incurable to even fatal. So that is what Hahnemann tells, that this should be avoided. So what is the beauty with homeopathy? One dose, placebo for 15 days. One dose, placebo for 1 month. One dose, placebo for 6 months. 246 aphorism tells that homeopathic medicine works for 40, 60 up to 100 days. So lesser the repetition, lesser you are going to get success. So that is how homeopathy is established. And that's what Hahnemann tells here. Even with this red line, I have highlighted peculiar power of the drug. So whatever allopathic drug you take it for longer time, constant repetition, it is going to produce a side effect to peculiar of that particular drug. And that is something which is very, very important, what this present scenario is actually suffering. Into this, what Hahnemann tells, that because of the daily repetition, because of the daily poisoning, Dr. Robin Murphy, one of the greatest homeopath, always tells, that allopathy has three options for you. Allopathy has three options for you. I can cut you, I can burn you, I can poison you. I can cut you by means of surgery or cryosurgery. I can burn you by means of cautery, radiotherapy, and I can poison you by means of chemical drugs and chemotherapy. So allopathic science usually has these three type of modalities. What Dr. Robin Murphy has very, very strongly emphasized in his books. If you see about the organon, in his books, you see about case analysis, in his other books as well. So what Hahnemann tries to tell here with 41st aphorism is that if you repeat, if you make a constant repetition, this constant repetition will produce, what will happen is that it will produce a new dissimilar artificial disease to the chronic nature. So what will happen is that the original disease is united. See the word used, coalesce, united and complicate with another chronic malady. So now the vital force which was suffering from one disease will suffer from two diseases. And you take it, you take more allopathic medicine, you take more religiously the allopathic medicine, you take more and more. What will happen is that hideous monster of complicated disease, which then is quite incurable. So what happens is chronic incurable disease is now coming on the surface. Before 25 years, homeopathic, before 25 years, the mankind was having diseases which were homeopathically curable. Now we are going to see those type of diseases which are homeopathically manageable. They are not curable now. And we are going into the bigger version, especially the West, which has standard medical facilities, are actually suffering more, be it emotional, be it psychological, be it physical, in whatever ways. So this what Hahnemann tells with 41st aphorism is that if you take regular, the specific word, constant repetition, what will happen? It will produce a new disease, peculiar power to that. So that is 41st. Now going from 41st to 54. Why allopathic science is successful? Because of his fantastic research. Why allopathic science is successful? Because of his very crystal clear understanding about the disease. But the point of therapeutic aspect comes, there is a problem. There is a problem. So what Hahnemann tells with 54 aphorism, understanding allopathy and treat based on guesswork. Guesswork. Because what Hahnemann tells is that the understanding part is okay. That's what he has even take it for homeopathy as well. Suppose we are seeing the patient. We need to know the diagnosis of that patient. Allopathy and homeopathy goes hand to hand till diagnosis. And then homeopathy goes with his own pharmacology and allopathy goes with own pharmacology. So 54 aphorism clearly tells allopathic method of treatment utilize many things against disease, but usually only improper ones. and rule for ages in different forms called systems. And in this way, where is, bitter truth of today? Bitter truth of today. What will happen? What will happen if? What will happen if patient has diabetes, thyroid, blood pressure, skin problem, depression, some multivitamin he is taking? What to do if this many allopathic drugs goes in one body? What will happen? There is no research for that. So what Hahnemann tells is, this is very clear that, see, the way allopathy doctor tells them rational medicine, but how much rational they are, because this type of research has not been done. And as a result, what it says, people living with museum of diseases are becoming victim of more and more bad health. And that's what Hahnemann tells. Indeed, many different medicines in so-called prescriptions to be administered in frequent and large doses. Thereby, the precious, easily destroyed human life was endangered in the hands of these perverted ones. So this is what Hahnemann tells is so very precise, that as far as the therapeutic aspect is concerned, there is a problem. And you see what Hahnemann has said 250 years ago, allopathy has done great development, great research, great progress, but still the therapeutic side has a problem. Therapeutic side has a problem. That's why many cases, many cases, there is no clue. There is no clue, right? So this is 54. Going from 54 is what you call 55. And this is something very important. That is for today. Why WHO has declared homeopathy as the second most popular system of medicine in the world. Why? What is the reason why the world is coming to homeopathy? I always believe, reading Organon so many times, that the world will have to come to homeopathy one day, either by choice or by compulsion. And that's what Hahnemann says in 55th aphorism. Soon, however, public become convinced that suffering of sick increased and heightened with introduction of every one of these systems and method of cure if followed exactly. So public has become convinced that somewhere there is a problem. My problem is not going away. I should try for alternate. And as a result, homeopathy has a great scope to offer. Great scope to offer. Okay, just a second. Yeah, my screen is blocked. Yeah, it's changing. Okay. So this is 55th aphorism, where Hahnemann tells very clearly that if you take regular allopathic medicine religiously, religious allopathic medicine, still your suffering will increase. It will be heightened. And then you have more and more medication, more and more medication, more and more medication, more and more medication. But there will be deterioration, but never a cure, never a permanent relief, where homeopathy has a great scope to offer. Great scope to offer. Jumping from 55th to 74th, something very intense, something very true for today. Very, very noticeable and very, very evident, a palpable truth for today. Allopathic treatment produces artificial chronic disease by the prolonged use of violent heroic medicine in large increasing doses. Vital force is weakened to an unmerciful extent. Unmerciful extent. Sometimes if do not succumb, gradually abnormally deranged in order to maintain life against these inimical and destructive attacks, what will happen is they develop kind of an alterations in the structure. So the function which was there working normally becomes structural, and as a result we are able to see a visible side effect. Painkillers producing damage in the kidney, visible damage in the kidney. Antibiotics producing damage in the guts. Steroids producing avascular necrosis, visible damage. Statins producing gallstones. What Hahnemann tells here with 74 is allopathic drugs, if taken regularly for longer period, for a broader period, what will happen that the revolution in the organism and either deprive some part of irritability and sensibility or exalt this to an excessive degree, cause dilatation or contraction, relaxation or induration to even total destruction of the part. Last, develop faulty organic alterations here. So as a result, what is there if you take medicine for longer period? There is a problem. But Hahnemann was not able to solve this issue in his life. That if this type of side effect comes, what we should do? That he was supposed to solve. Somewhere his life ended, and that's what Hahnemann has left to the us, to the coming generations of homeopath. And the great work in tautopathy has been done by Dr. R.P. Patel, Dr. Ramanlal P. Patel from India. So this artificial chronic disease confirms that allopathy never cures. In this, the interior and exterior crippling of the body, superficially or deeply, in order to preserve the organism from the complete destruction of life, ever renewed hostile attacks of such destructive forces. So in this way, artificial chronic disease and allopathy is much harmful. So if you consider this is what you call, this organon is a bird eye view. It's not with, no, not by like scheduled reading of the aphorism. It is bird eye view, right? On one particular topic of tautopathy, before going to the actual subject of tautopathy, Hahnemann has given indications in many aphorisms where this is something very important for us to understand, which will help us to treat patients in a much better way. Right, friends? Friends, can I have your feedback quickly? Am I reachable to you clearly? Am I fast? Am I slow? Can I have your feedback quickly in the chat? Can I have your feedback, friends?
Everything is perfect, doctor. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Shweta Singh. Thank you, Dr. Suryakanta ma'am. Thank you, Dr. Shahana. Very nice. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Fantastic. Fantastic. Okay. Fantastic. So now 74 is all about confirming. Hahnemann is raising the question that this is the situation. Now we have to see for the solution, and that is equally very needed. Otherwise, what will happen is that the science, what you call the human race, will be into more and more danger. And this is what is the truth of the today. What Hahnemann has written 250 years ago, coming true today. What he tells, there will be. Uh, I don't know what is the problem with this. Yeah, what Hahnemann tells here, and that is the truth for today. There is an explosion of chronic disease in present era. Now we don't find people with typhoid, we don't find people with malaria, we don't find people with viral fever, we don't find we find people with diabetes, we find people with cancer, we find people with AIDS, we find people with depression, we find people with blood pressure. Now the chronic disease is in every home. So why there is an explosion of chronic disease in present era? Hahnemann tells in 75 aphorism, and how beautifully he has mentioned. This is one of the reason. Hahnemann was not on time; he was before time, and that still obtains. What he tells: these inroads on human health, affected by allopathic non-healing art. More particular, recent time is my addition. These inroads of human health affected by allopathic non-healing art are of chronic disease, the more deplorable, the most incurable, and I regret to add that it is apparently impossible to discover or hit upon any remedies for their cure when they have reached considerable height. And this is the reason why now chronic diseases are chronic manageable disease. They are now chronic curable disease. Why there is an explosion of chronic disease now, especially with the West? There is tremendous explosion with India. In India, since we overall have a good level of health, but with West it has a big problem. chronic disease, and now chronic psychological disease. What you call physical level is surpassed, physical level is cleared, or I would say damaged viciously or vociferously, and now the mental and emotional levels are getting exposed. So what is happening is chronic disease, and this is very dangerous if we consider, a part where our human race is now going, and that we have to help these people who are suffering very badly, and we have to help them. The higher purpose of our existence, aphorism 9, last line, should be our mission for healing the sick. And that's what Hahnemann tells, that this thing will happen. 75 aphorism, he tells this thing will happen, and now this you have to do, where you will help this type of people. And this is the source from where tautopathy starts. What Hahnemann tells, for natural and artificial disease, beneficent nature has granted only homeopathy for affording relief. Only homeopathy. Those devastating and mimicking of human organism exteriorly and interiorly for years of allopathic unsparing and harmful treatment must be remedied. Homeopathic remedy must be remedied by vital force along with homeopathic treatment to eradicate the chronic miasm. And when it will be possible, if it has not already been too much weakened by such mischievous act, and can devote several years to these huge operations undisturbed for restoration to the normal state from innumerable abnormal conditions with homeopathy. So Hahnemann is telling so clearly, so precisely, and so what you call, if his intelligence is superhuman. I would say Hahnemann, one of the greatest benefactor of human race is ever lived on this planet. And he is with us. His wisdom, his values, his knowledge is with us to guide us. But the worst part is people don't read Organon. Organon is a rule book of homeopathy. If you want to become successful, you have to read Organon. So 76 aphorism is, this was, I would say, a bird eye view as a source or a need or a requirement of tautopathic medicine. And from here, the person who developed tautopathy, the founder of tautopathy, is my teacher. And he is the inaugurator of my Gujarat state's first private homeopathic hospital, which is the biggest in the state up till now. And that is that he inaugurated my homeopathic hospital. I worked under him for 4 years, and I have seen outstanding results with tautopathy in his practice. And that's what with this lecture is my tribute to him, because he recently has left this planet, but his books, his wisdom, his everything is available. If people want to learn more about tautopathy, his literature is probably, I would say, an authentic information for this topic. So Dr. R.P. Patel sir is the person who invented tautopathy in homeopathy, and that was again out of an accident. Like, translating Cullen's Materia Medica, cinchona bark was a point of surprise to Dr. Samuel Hahnemann. One of his patients has taken so much of painkillers, and that lady was not responding to Dr. R.P. Patel sir treatment. He decided to potentize that aspirin, and then he gave potentized aspirin with great effect. And that was the point from where homeopathy took another dimension in terms of these type of difficult cases. So maxim of homeopathy: similia similibus curantur. What can cause can cure. If allopathy can produce side effect in toxic doses, these allopathic drugs, if given homeopathically, can help them or to cure them as well. So the way diseased organism or product is called nosode, diseased drug, or I would say toxic drug, can call isode, and that is what is called tautopathy. And one of the virtue, or one of the source, or one of the opportunity to get the genuine homeopathic information is drug toxicity and accidental poisoning. and is one of the source of homeopathic Matra Medica. So in this present situation where the world, now the allopathic drugs are very, very, what you call very, they are not that crude, but their effect is very dangerous. Now the allopathic drugs are not that crude, but their effect is very vicious. So now the world, since it is suffering very badly with allopathic drugging, tautopathy can give us a scope, or I would say a world of homeopathy beyond the horizon. And that every homeopath should use in practice. And my lecture is all the source books from Kent, from Hahnemann to Bonigusen to Dr. R.B. Patel to Dr. Robin Murphy to Dr. Luke D. Shepard. Everything is compiled here with a single purpose, that it is my request to you to start using tautopathic medicines whenever you are blocked in a case and you are not able to find a proper solution in spite of giving the most perfect medicine. Most perfect medicine. What is tautopathy? Tauto means same. Tautopathy is the method of curing or removing bad effect or side effect of drug by isotoxication. It's like, it's like if a person has taken a lot of steroids, and you are able to see a clear side effect in a patient having steroids intake, you can potentialize steroids and you can give it. I will give you a list of the tautopathic drugs available in the homeopathic world. You can take a picture of it. You can purchase it from a reliable pharmacy near you. It will help you. So now what is happening is that long-term use of allopathic conventional drugs had often been found to work as an obstacle in providing a cure. Those days are gone where a person coming with strong allopathic drugging, you give Naxomica, you give whatever remedy. Those days have gone. Now Naxomica has a very limited effect. What is needed is proper tautopathic cure, and that is only possible if you use those drug which has produced a side effect into potentized form. Then the administration of tautopathic drugs, medicines, can help to remove such obstacles and facilitate a cure. At the end of this presentation, I'm going to share one of my evidence-based case to you. Evidence-based case which tautopathy helped me. That is one of the most memorable case, and that case was my first success, evidence-based success, which tautopathy, following the guidance and teachings of Dr. R.P. Patel sir. So now we are on a journey to understand tautopathy. So I have it's like a book. I'm going to take one point steadily. So this is the first point is what is tautopathy. These allopathic drugs, more stronger a drug, more stronger is the side effect. And long-term use in chronic disease compounds the problem to a maximum level. And what is the situation now? People come to homeopathy as a last option. They go to allopathic doctors, they take allopathic medicine, their case is spoiled. They may undergo surgery, even a bigger difficulty. Then they go to some other alternative therapist and no solution, and then they come to us. So when they come to us, the case itself has crossed a level of curability. And at that time, if we want to help, tautopathy is the way, where long-term allopathic drugging, the side effect or the effect can be nullified with these drugs. And what is something very beautiful, which I will confirm with my practice at the end, my dear friends. This green line, there is often a drug symptom that needs to be removed before similimum work effectively. Is my case what I'm going to show you at the end. A clear case, a clear remedy case, absolutely clear case is not getting solved. And then I thought about tautopathy and made me a marvelous effect, absolute marvelous effect, right? So that is, first was what is tautopathy. Now the fundamentals of tautopathy. So fundamentals of tautopathy is not homeopathy, is not similar, but it's identical. They are very close, but they are not exact. So tautopathy is identical. It's towards isopathy. It's towards isopathy, but it is an enhanced tool for homeopaths to use in difficult cases coming to us from the allopathic table. From the allopathic table. Say for example, it's like nosode, like isode. Say for example, person is coming to us with lot of family history of typhoid fever lot of times. Patient had typhoid fever in his life 10 times, 8 times, 15 times. What we do? We give typhoidinum as a nosode to clear that block. When base selected remedy fails to act is an indication of nosode. So what happens is we clear that block with typhoidinum. Here we can clear the block with tautopathy. Suppose a patient comes to us with a lot of use of penicillin. You can give penicillin 200. It will clear the block. You will give the right medicine. You will not have an effect. Think about tautopathy if the case is completely what you call drugged with allopathic medication in the history. This is what you call fundamentals and how tautopathy is prescribed. Similarly, what you call homeopathy. What is totality? Totality of symptoms is causation plus expression equals to prescription. Causation plus expression is prescription. Here is the same. Causative factor of the drug, side effects of the drug, if matching, that should be a prescription. So tautopathic medicine is not administered on the basis of history only. We should see the side effects available. We should see the symptoms of the drug. If you see the pharmacology of allopathic drugs, with what you call Goodman-Gilman, you will be able to see the side effects. Then only it will help. Otherwise, what will happen? You cannot just give tautopathic medicine out of what you call just having a thought of it. No, tautopathic medicines are prescribed primarily on the basis of causative factor and symptom produced as a side effect. Then only it will be what you call a need. It will be working in a case. How tautopathic medicines are prepared? Next point. How tautopathic medicines are prepared? Same like potentization. The way we have potentized sulfur, the way we have potentized natramur, the way we have potentized arsenicum, we can potentize penicillin, we can potentize aspirin, we can potentize cortisone. Drugs can be used with trituration as well as succussion. So medicines same way, absolutely same way this drug will be prepared. Preparation is no longer different. Preparation is the same, but the crude substance is allopathic drug, where the other was maybe mineral, maybe animal, maybe plant. So tautopathic preparation, medicine preparations of the tautopathic drugs, more or less the very same, right? Clinical source. This is very important. Toxicity. I tell you one of the present situation. One of the lady was having psychiatric problem. That lady had a psychiatric problem. She consulted for her knee problem one of the orthopedic doctor. I'm talking about 1 year back. That allopathic doctor prescribed her painkiller supposed to be taken for 15 days. That's all. He has given medicine for 15 days. But this lady was a psychiatric case. So out of her whatever psychology, she was feeling better. She took allopathic drug for almost 10 months. Almost 10 months. And the lady became absolutely what you call crazy, borderline schizophrenic, absolutely what you call abnormal. And that case was, that lady consulted me. And when I saw this case, this was very difficult a situation for me. So it was difficult for me even to judge. But I was very clear with this case that this case is spoiled because of allopathic painkillers. This case was spoiled because of what you call typical use of painkillers. So then what I did before going to the prescription, what I did, I gave the painkiller in 200 potency and the patient started improving. So here the same is the point. Either self-administered self-administered or ignorantly prescribed by the class of physicians who are forever prescribing for the result of their own drugging without knowing it. So either you take it by accident, or you take it by purpose, or the doctor gives you overdosing. If there is a side effect in your body, you can use tautopathy. This is an indication for tautopathic drugs, a very clear cut indication, and they can be given, according to the cause and effect. And the idea has not, this idea does not come from source. Homeopathy is an open science. It's an open science. In this 250 years of time, we are not yet able to decide the spelling of homeopathy, because homeopathy has two spellings, right? We don't have that kind of, international standardized literature, the authorities which decides the literature. So there are a lot of development we need as a homeopathy as well. But this idea has not come from the source, but this idea has come from clinical success. And that's why this is very reliable information. Very reliable information. Similarly, Dr. R.B. Patel sir did a trial, and he has mentioned this in his books. The people, the people who were having, a lot of arsenic use, or, potentized lead, there are two group of people. One has given a lot of arsenic, they had arsenic toxicity, 6 to 7 group of people, and the other was lead poisoning. So these two group of people, what Dr. R.P. Patel did when he was alive when he was practicing in Kerala, I'm talking about 10 years back, 10 to 15 years back. What he did, the one group of arsenic poisoning people, arsenic overuse people, he gave arsenic in a potentized form. And the lead, they give lead as a potentized form. And what was the result? Result have shown that such a potentized substance can help remove the symptoms caused by the toxicity and enhancing the elimination of the toxins from the tissue. So this clinical source was absolutely confirmed, and he established tautopathy till his last breath to the finest of roots and highest level of success, so that this can be accepted in the profession without any objection. And this is an absolute truth, right? Friends, can I have your feedback quickly? Am I fast? Am I slow? Quickly, friends, can I have your feedback? Very nice. Thank you very much. I like the people who give comments, because if the audience is sleeping, somebody needs to wake up the speaker, and that's why. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. Fantastic. I'll be very happy to have your suggestions as well. So please guide me in a way which can help me to be more interactive. Next, purpose of tautopathy. What is the purpose of tautopathy? Why the tautopathy has come on the existence in the homeopathic world? There are three purposes. Tautopathic medicines are proved like homeopathic medicines, and they can be used as homeopathic prescription, provided the chance is coming to us whenever there is a need. So it will increase our what you call armamentarium. It will increase our knowledge. Second, antidote or remove the bad effect of conventional drugs. I wonder, whatever allopathic drugs allopathic doctors have, our brothers and sisters in allopathy has, every drug should be potentized. Every drug should be potentized. Every homeopath should start using these type of drugs if he's able to see a visible side effect. Say, for example, statin. Atorvastatin is a cardiac drug. It is to reduce the cholesterol. Lot of people are taking. Those who develop gallstones, because it's a side effect of statin to produce a gallstone. Those who have gallstones, or those who have developed the side effect of statin, should be given statin in potentized form. It's like that. Remove the bad effects. And third, remove the obstacles in the way of cure. because tautopathy cannot cure all type of disease, but it will give you a way for the next and a better prescription. Because allopathy, tautopathy will never cure. Is even allopathic drugs are not, so, confirmed to cure. So tautopathy is very difficult that whether it will cure or not. But what it will do, it will remove the block. The third aphorism. If physician clearly perceives what is to be cured in the disease, and into if physician clearly knows the obstacles in the way of cure, obstacles in the way of cure. So that is knowledge of allopathic science as well. So here it will help about what you call three purposes. If you want to get the benefit, you can use this tautopathy. Into that, this is a bitter truth of today. I have personally experienced the first point many times. When a person is coming to us with a lot of allopathic drugging, our homeopathic literature says give Naxwamika. You give Naxwamika, patient will be relieved. All the side effect of allopathic drugs will be dissolved, will be cleared. Those days are gone now. You cannot give Naxwamika because just you have to give Naxwamika. You have to have the totality of Naxwamika. You have to have the portrait of Naxwamika, or you have to have pictures of Naxwamika coming as a prescription. Right? If you consider 147 aphorism, if you consider 153 aphorism, then only it will come as a prescription. You cannot give Naxwamika just because you want to give Naxwamika. Not at all. Right? And second, which is equally very important, you have a clear case in front of you. Suppose a case I'm going to show after I conclude this tautopathy part, it's a clear case of one remedy, very clear. I gave 200, no effect. I gave 1M, no effect. I gave 10M, no effect. Case was absolutely clear. It was not getting solved. So then my brain started thinking about what is the reason behind. And since I am a strong organon guy, I apply aphorisms in every practice I see, every case I see, each and every case, whether it is complicated or simple, I always refer organon to confirm my thinking. Here, what happened? I was blocked. Then I realized tautopathy. And that's what Hahnemann tells here. That's what the literature tells here in point number 2. If he's going to fail, no doubt, even if he discriminates symptoms of the drug and natural disease, he cannot find the true antidote at once of the bad effect, and so his patient may worry that his remedies are not helping them. My patient was worrying, why I'm not getting relieved. I was also worried. He is paying me. I am responsible to that lady, but I was not able to help her. Tautopathy came and helped. So this is purpose for tautopathy, right? Third, and this is absolutely very important, because ultimately every drug, homeopathically, you take Pulsatilla 6, you take Pulsatilla 30, you take Pulsatilla 200, you take Pulsatilla 1M, you take Pulsatilla 10M, you take Pulsatilla 50M, or even CM. Every drug in different potency has a range of action. Similarly, allopathic drugs, if given in toxicity, also have a range of destruction, also have a range of poisoning, also have a range of damage. So in that way, these potentized drugs will really come and help you like a blessing, like a blessing. Every medicine or drug has a plane of action, and the same with different potencies of the drug. Different potencies have their own plane of action. If you give cortisone 30, does not help, don't worry, go to 200. If you go to cortisone 200 doesn't help, go to 1M. But don't change if you're so clear with your judgment that this is definitely an indication of tautopathic drug. And then what will happen? What will happen is that tautopathy will show them. Tautopathy will show ultimately a great effect. As a result, our homeopathic success will be enhanced. And that is the way how tautopathy is used for our purpose. Right? Going to next. Why is the need of tautopathy? Why is the need of tautopathy? Is there a need of tautopathy? Yes. In the present era, Homeopathy is suffering due to overuse of most powerful allopathic wonder drugs with their bad effects, creating drug diseases. Because homeopathy is a dynamic science, is immaterial science. Allopathy is a material science, it's a crude science. Child has a different dose, adult has a different dose, obese adult has a different dose. What homeopathy says is individualization. Vital force of a dinosaur is one, vital force of an elephant is one, vital force of a dog is one, vital force even of a rabbit is one. So homeopathy is more grounded or more equal science. So here the drugs which has been given more and more and more, as a result what will happen, will produce side effect. And these bad effects or drug effects are removed before we prescribe homeopathic drugs for the benefit. What will happen? You give tautopathy, will give you a great benefit, and it is the new feather in the cap of homeopath. It's a new feather in the cap of homeopath. You know, it can win itself a corner in your heart if you have any. For me, tautopathy is one of the most important process, or I would say a corner wherever I am seeing a case coming to homeopathy with lot of allopathic drugging. And believe me, it's very, very needed, very needed. What are the indications of tautopathy? There are basically three indications, and they are very clear so that you can think about this, like, you know, whenever it is coming in front of you. Antibiotic overuse is involuntary or iatrogenic poisoning, antibiotic overuse, steroid overuse, multivitamins overuse, hormones overuse, painkillers, or regular lifetime medications. Say for example, a patient is, patient has diabetes. What allopathy doctor will say? Oh, you have to take medicine for lifetime. Your patient has thyroid. What doctor will say? Oh, you have to take medicine for lifetime. Patient has blood pressure. What doctor will say? Oh, you have to take medicine for lifetime. So this, if the drugs are supposed to be taken every day, then there is a possibility of side effect. These wonder drugs, in modern wonder drug treatment, is all the emphasis is not to cure the disease, is to control the disease. Because allopathy believes in tolecasm. So what happens? That whenever you take these painkillers, antibiotics, steroids, hormonal shots, whatever drugs for longer period or for lifetime, you are prone to have a side effect. Tautopathy is the way. Tautopathy is the way. Second, you know, peptic ulcer is common during the treatment of ACTH and cortisone. Similarly, you take hormones, heavy hormonal drugs. Very heavy hormonal drugs will produce a very powerful side effects. And we can readily use these type of drugs, hormonal drugs, to counteract this side effect. And people are excited to use the drugs in the treatment, reading glowing publicity that is given in their preparations. But pharmacy or advertisement doesn't take it up. You see an advertisement in a in a television, or in a theater, you go to see a movie, you see a great advertisement. This is the great medicine for cough and coryza. This is the great medicine for blood pressure. This is great for this, great for that. They are giving advertisement, but they do not show the side effect part. Neither the allopathy doctor even accept the side effect of the allopathic drugs. So what they show to us is the half of the story, not the full story. So if these type of drugs like ACTH or cortisone or many like this produces side effect, and patient comes to you and you are clear with the history, you can definitely use it. Vaccination and revaccinations. Dr. R.P. Patel sir has found a clear relation between hypertension, heart disease, cancer in relation to vaccination. Very clear relation. Now the world is going for heart problem. Now the world is going for cancer. Now the world is going for psychiatric disorders because of heavy usage of these type of allopathic drugs. Point number 3, possible areas where tautopathic prescriptions can be thought of. Number 1 is drug addictions, tranquilizers, Valium, say for alprazolam. If a patient is taking alprazolam every day, think about potentize alprazolam, give it to the patient. If your case is not responding, right? Immunosuppressants, IUI or IVF children having serious childhood diseases. We are seeing so many IVF children who have been, once they take the birth on this earth, they are sick, and they are sick with very bad illnesses, right? Long-term hormonal therapies like menstrual or pregnancy therapy. You know, personal history of long-term voluntary use of analgesics, advanced pathological case where there is no clear history found, complex disease, mixed medicines. A patient, say for example, a diabetes patient coming to you for medication. His main complaint is diabetes. He wants that his diabetic neuropathy is controlled, should get controlled. But he has depression. He's taking medicine. He has eczema. He is taking local applications. He has thyroid. He is taking thyroid medicines. What will happen? Tautopathy is the way. If you're not able to clearly find the way, tautopathy is the way. And this is very, very, very needed, right? What modern medicine needs to understand? Next point. Modern medicine needs to understand that, there is not always to run for specifics, not to run for specific drugs for disease. There can be natural ways as well to combat the disease, but they don't believe. If you tell, they object. We respect them, we bless them, right? So there are specifics for sick individuals and not for disease, what homeopathy believes, and that one day an allopathy has to believe. As a result, now excessive use of allopathic drugs, excessive use of allopathic drugs, excessive use of allopathic drugs. What has happened? Psychology and psychiatric field are becoming more and more popular. They get very good business. Before 25 years, before 30 years, I wonder how much psychiatrists were there on this planet. Now, every street, or even a small city has 4 or 5 psychiatrists. So what is happening is like, we are getting broken. We are getting broken. What is AIDS? Acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. It's acquired. AIDS was here only. AIDS virus was here on this earth, but we were immune. Now we are susceptible. So very soon, after 20 years, 30 years, 45 years, maybe it will become congenital, because it's, inheritance will start coming up, right? So this is something, a big problem. Last, in terms of medicine, what modern medicine needs to understand is that orthopedic medicinal treatment, which is drugging and surgical operations, not only cannot cure, but they can help. But what will happen is they eventually, with long medication, will become serious disorder, more serious disorder. And this is what we really need to understand, that these type of cases coming to us for homeopathy treatment, think about tautopathy. Think about tautopathy definitely. Concept of allopathy with disease, cure, and health. There is hardly any wonder drug. There's no side effects. There is hardly any drug in allopathy has no side effects. You take simple painkiller, or you take, deepest psychiatric psychotropic drugs. Every drug has a possible side effect, because it's a crude science. If you repeat, if you poison every day, it will produce a side effect. So these type of drugs will really compromise the health, compromise the disease, and so as will affect the curative process as well. Antibiotics, antipyretics, painkillers, steroids, all are these type of drugs. They are foreign to human body. If they are chemicals. They are not naturals, of course. So that will produce side effect if you take it in excess. And here, in such a case, tautopathic medicine can play a vital role countering such drug, disease, or toxic symptoms produced by the conventional drugs. Can play a very vital role, right? Into that concept of holistic and holistic medicine. Holistic as a whole, and holy, holism, what you call divine, pure, spiritual. Holistic as a whole and spiritual. Homeopathy can be the way. Homeopathy can be the way. Because in this present situation, before any time in the past, we are so drugged with allopathic drugs. we will be even more dreaded with allopathic drugs in the future, where the side effect will become more and more visible. So it's better to, as a homeopath, we should start using this tautopathy as a way to help these type of people who do not respond even with standard line of treatment. And that is very, very, very needed, right? And into this, for your note, you can take this picture. These are the tautopathic drugs available in the market. You can just order it. Maybe you can Google, or maybe you can ask your pharmacy. They will prepare it to you. There are many drugs available in India. If you are in India, then you can definitely purchase from any reliable pharmacy you are in contact with. Otherwise, you can have it very easily at your what you call clinic. So we have many of these drugs we already have. Many of the drugs we have ordered, it will come to us very soon. Because of this COVID and all, lot of drugs are exhausted, but we are supposed to replace the stock very soon, right? So with this, I what you call conclude about tautopathy in general. First part was organon, where the side effect of allopathic drugs were there. So clearly Hahnemann has said, but he was not able to find, or I would say he was having limited time. He couldn't got an opportunity to develop tautopathy as a weapon to counteract allopathic drugs, side effects of allopathic drugs, which Dr. R.B. Patel sir did. So this presentation is a conclusion of the first to second. Can I have your feedback here publicly so that I can understand before I move to my last part, that is case? Quickly, friends, can I have your feedback? Quickly. I am supposed to go to the case. Thank you. Okay. I'll be very happy to have your open remark, critical remark if you want. I'm a student of homeopathy. I'll be very happy to receive your updates or your criticisms as well, because we are here for the good purpose, right? Thank you very much. Thank you everyone. Thank you everyone. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay, now the last part of my presentation, that is what you call, case. And this is very, very what you call the most, I would say, painful part of my practice. And I would say this case I'm presenting to you in the memory of my beloved teacher, Dr. Ramanlal P. Patel sir, Dr. R.P. Patel sir, because it was his guideline for me to use tautopathy in this case. Since then till today, I'm a lover of tautopathy. I'm a lover of tautopathy, right? And I also, I want you to follow this into your practice. And if you find success, appreciate Hahnemann, thank Hahnemann. If you have a failure, write to me at my email. I'm open to answer. This is now the case. 19th February 2013, 37. This is a typical tautopathy case. That's why it's little old. It's 7 years old case, but it's a typical tautopathy case. That's why I'm presenting in front of you. 37-year-old female came to Sri Sai Ayurvedic Hospital with complaint of rheumatoid arthritis since 9 years, constant allopathic medication, and within 1 year of time, she started developing deformities in third and fourth left finger, third and fourth left, fingers of the left hand. Now, this was a CC, a presenting complaint. Life space. She was born in 1976, happy childhood, good married life, no problem. Past history, coryza with cold in winter, regularly took allopathic medicine. You can take like coryza suppressed with allopathic drugs. Had accident in the past, injured knees, treated with allopathy, no complaint afterwards, right? Mind, very emotional, very sympathetic. She is even from a Muslim community. She does not want to eat non-veg. Even though she is from Muslim community, she does not want to eat non-veg, where they are allowed to eat non-veg, right? Because she does not want that an animal should be killed because of his food. She's so sympathetic. She's always ready to help others. She's also running her NGO to help poor and needy, which is very, very rare to see in Muslim community, is especially in India, where we see. Can we mute this person? Yeah. Mentally, she is very, very mild by nature. Very sympathetic, very mild. can suppress anger easily, yet she does not want to hurt others, want everything fast. She is very hurried. She has a lot of speed, lot of speed. Company desire. She cannot stay alone. She desire company, but very strong desire for company. Even in Muslim community, it's more of a joint family. So company desire is a very common feature for them. But with this, it was even a stronger, right? Appetite, cannot tolerate her hunger. Thirst for large quantity of water, but normal water. It's not like cold water also. Desire for ice cream, sweet aversion, milk aversion. Coriander is her special, what you call, aversion. Very rare I have seen this type of symptom in the people. Coriander, strong aversion for coriander. Even smell causes sensation of vomiting. A housewife who is supposed to cook the food for the family does not like coriander, or she has aggravation from coriander. Such a strong symptom, right? So this was a characteristic, what you call, individual information. Thermals, she was a hot lady. Sleep position was right side. Family history of rheumatoid arthritis, very clear. Her mother, I'm sorry, there is a spelling mistake, Mother, mother, and her elder sister, both were rheumatoid positive. Both were rheumatoid positive. She had three abortion in her life, two children, lower segment cesarean section, completely normal. Menses is completely within normal limits. So this was the information concerning the lady. So this was in the individual information for the case in a very nutshell. The remedy, you can all think very clearly with phosphorus, because she has ice cream desire, milk aversion, sweet aversion, right side sleep, sympathetic, rheumatoid arthritis, company desire, hunger, cannot tolerate hunger, thirsty, so much. So I was very clear with the phosphorus, and I was true that this is a flat case of phosphorus. What I did, I gave phosphorus. Now this is the report, an evidence-based case study. You see her rheumatoid arthritis was 150. You see here, its RA positive is 150, where it has to be up to 20 only, right? 150. This was her report. What I did is, I said phosphorus 30 is okay. Phosphorus 31 dose, placebo. Advice to your blood reports and RA test for quality evaluation in future. 15 days medicine was given. 9th March 2013, no change. Potency increase up to 200, right? Into that, then I gave 15 days medicine. To 25th of March, follow-up, second follow-up, no change. No change, remedy is clear. Raise the potency. Kent has always said, before changing the remedy, always change the potency, because otherwise you may lose the right medicine. So I changed the potency to 1M. I gave 1M for 15 days, waited. On 11th of April 2013, third follow-up, no change. I was like wondering, what is this all about? I am really shocked why the remedy is not working. Potency increase, phosphorus 10M. From 30 to 200, 200 to 1M, 1M to 10M. It was not helping. So then I was really in a dilemma. Fourth follow-up, 30th April, she was worse. Now, correct sign of right medicine. If you see 104 aphorism, if you see 254 aphorism, and if you see 255 aphorism, symptoms should improve or same with mental, emotional, physical well-being. There are criteria for similimum, which I'm not going to touch here, but the case was worse with patient having on the right medicine according to me for 2 months of time. This is not the right time for me. I have to think about it. So what we do usually, re-evaluate the case. So we ask all the information to the female categorically, point by point. No visible changes observed after phosphorus in 2 months time, no improvement. No new information was found. No mental, emotional, physical obstacles. Authenticity of the remedy at pharmacy was also checked, because authenticity of pharmacy is a very debatable point. So I always critically check if the remedy is not working. Remedy was correct. So that was a hit for me. Now what to do? I realized the teachings of my teacher, Dr. R.B. Patel sir. This is the time for tautobethy, because this lady has taken steroids for 5 to 6 years continuously. What I did, 2nd of May 2013, I gave cortisone 30 potency. cortisone 30. 20th March 2013, little better, 5% better. I said, okay. As I said, 5% improvement can be doubtful. So I raised the potency, better up to 35%. In the seventh follow-up, 35%. So that was an improvement for me, clear, visible. Then what I did, no medicine, placebo. Once there is improvement, should not repeat. Next follow-up, 70% better with cortisone 200. Patient was better up to 70%. No medicine, only placebo. And then what we did, we started gradually reduce her medicine. Then we gave medicine for 1 month because patient was improving. There is no point to make her to the hospital again and again. So 21st June 2013 to 21st July, 9th follow-up, better up to 70% without allopathic medicines. Patient was better up to 70%. This is a great sign. So what we did, further reduction of the allopathic drugs and blood reports for qualitative evaluation. And then what happened is a magic that on the report, what we were able to see was RA factor was 16, which was 150. This was a great shock to me that tautopathy has worked like a magic. Tautopathy has worked like a blessing. Tautopathy has worked like a simillimum. And from there on, this lady has responded very beautifully with tautopathy. And since then till today, we are in touch. Patient is doing very much better. I can tell you with great confidence that tautopathy was the way in this particular case. And that's what I advise you, rather I request you to think about this option if you have a case coming to you with a lot of allopathic drugging. So with this, I what you call conclude my talk with the finest quote said by Dr. Henneman by Dr. John Ware. He says something for Henneman. When great people die, it is said that they leave their ideas, their thoughts, desires, and even their senses for the future generations to come. It is going to more than 2.5 centuries years past. Dr. Samuel Henneman is still alive like a glowing musk in his work. Henneman has always been not up to date, but before date, and that still obtains. What Henneman has said in Organon is coming true today. What Henneman has given ideas, there are many other ideas in Organon. The world needs to explore that part. So this is something, a great, sayings said by John Ware for Henneman. Little more. Dr. Bradford in his book Life and Letters of Henneman, scholars whom scholar honored and respected, physician whom physician feared, philologist with which was ready to dispute, chemist who taught chemist, philosopher whom no adversity or had honor to change. And that's why I always tribute all my success at the feet of Henneman. And that's why I always say that yes, I'm proud to be a homeopath, and I always feel that I'm a proud child of Samuel Henneman. Because whatever we are today is because of our educational father, Dr. Samuel Henneman, humbly dedicating our achievements at his feet as an eternal tribute to him. My mission for this lecture is to take you to the footsteps of Henneman. If you want to be the best, go to the roots to have the fruits. There is only one sun in homeopathy, that is Henneman. Rest all our stars. If you want to be the leader, follow the leader. If you want to be the follower, follow the followers. So with this, I conclude my talk. And I want to thank everyone for your patient listening. I want to thank the wonderful KHA group, as well as my inspiration, Dr. Kavita ma'am, for having me on this platform for this lecture. And I hope it will be of some purpose to the community for some reasons. So I am open for discussions, and I conclude my talk here. Thank you very much. Over to you, Dr. Kavita ma'am.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dr. Pratiksha, for sharing this great information. It's a wonderful presentation, and we have many questions. Dr. Sweta and Professor Regina will take some, and because we have another speaker ready, so if we cannot finish many questions, at least few questions we will answer. Dr. Sweta, please.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Kritik sir, for the great sharing. And let me take the questions. Yes. First question is from Dr. Sanjeev Agarwal. How do you differentiate symptoms due to preservatives added in diet?
Sorry, how do you differentiate?
How do you differentiate? How do you differentiate symptoms due to preservatives added in diet?
How do I differentiate symptom preservatives and diet? I think it's all about peculiarities. If I'm doubtful whether the symptom is clear or not, I will leave it. Because Henneman has said very clearly, you should rely on those symptoms which you are sure of, where your logic is completely convinced. If you know, no, their perception is, what you call, how should I say, uh, observation is something which is guided by knowledge. So if I'm clear what I'm observing with my knowledge that this is an absolute truth, I will take it into totality. If I'm doubtful, I will leave it. I will rely on those symptoms which are very authentic and very, very real. It's like that. I can say.
One more query is from Dr. Sanjeev Agarwal. As consumer does not know the insecticides or pesticides used in agriculture, so
Yes.
how to get a tautopathic aspect? And one more
Well,
question is there. What is the miasmatic aspect of tautopathy?
it's a
Is
big
it
point.
within the known miasms or something else?
No, totopathy is a what you call drug side effect. Destructive is always mixed miasmatic. It's never like flat. That's what Hahnemann. I have basically in this aphorism of this organon, I have only written only those only those words from the organon which are related to tautopathy. Otherwise, if you see in paragraph 41, paragraph 54, and paragraph 55, Hahnemann tells that these type of drug side effect produces a kind of a very destructive damage which is mixed miasmatic. It is neither psoric nor psychotic nor syphilitic. It is mixed miasmatic. So I request the enthusiastic person who has asked the question, read paragraph 37, read paragraph 41, read paragraph 54, and read paragraph 55. That will give you a detailed answer. And still, if your question write to me, I will answer you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
One more question is from Dr. Mukta Garg. Where can we get these drugs? From which company? And drug for long-term use of hormones for menstrual cycle.
We have these type of drugs. We have progesterone. We have lot of drugs. We have LH also. We have lot of drugs. We have lot of drugs. I think you can Google it out. You can Google it out. We have lot of drugs from Dr. R.P. Patel sir's son. He's sending drugs to us because I'm very much connected to Dr. R.B. Patel Sir Institute. I'm taking from different pharmacy, but whatever Schwabe has some drugs about autopathy, SBL may be having some, Hepco has some drugs. Even Dr. R.P. Patel Sir has his own what you call rec about the allopathic drugs. So from that, he used to send it to me. As I said, tautopathic cases are not that kind of pulsatile and atropine sulfur bryonia calcarecap type of frequently seen cases. But when you need it, it will really help you. So maybe you can search it out for some reliable pharmacy. You will definitely get it.
Thank you. One more question from Dr. Eltone. How do you use tautopathic remedies if the patient is still using the medicine?
Still, that is 91st aphorism is the answer. 91st, 92 aphorism is the answer. It's like if patient is on is also on allopathic drugging, still we can give homeopathic medicines. That is 91st and 92nd aphorism is the answer. Patient is taking allopathic drugs because we cannot stop it suddenly. We cannot stop it suddenly. So in such type of cases, we have to go slow and steady. That is 91st aphorism. Basically, to manage cases on allopathic drugs are of two types. One is simple allopathic drugs, what you call cetirizine or phenylpropylamine or acidity drugs. You can stop it immediately. But there is called hard drugs, tranquilizers, anticonvulsant, antidepressant, suicidal, what you call the depression drugs and all. That cannot be stopped immediately. So what is to be done is 91st aphorism and 92nd aphorism, that you go steadily, slow and steady. You see the improvement. What improvement we are going to get with automatic drug is also like homeopathic improvement. That is aphorism 104, 254, 255 tells there are three signs of similimum. Relief upon the symptoms upon which we prescribed, no new symptoms, and general signs of well-being, mental, emotional, physical, and energy well-being. So even though, say for example, patient is taking steroids and you have given cortisone, still patient will say that my energy has lifted up. Patient will say that I feel better psychologically. I'm relieved. No new symptoms. So managing cases on tautopathy is same with organon. It doesn't change at all. But to taper them is a art of very high order. That is what I can say paragraph 91 and 92. And if you want to go more into this detailed what you call knowledge about how to stop allopathic drugs, then I would recommend to read a book Science of Homeopathy by Joel Vitulkas, chapter 16, 17 and 18. In this, he has given a descriptive idea how to stop allopathic drugs. That's all I can say.
And are there any clear of those remedies, detailed
No, basically that is from Dr. R.P. Patel. I think you can ask his book for what you call, what is the name of that book? What is tautopathy? I think that is the book from Dr. R.P. Patel, sir, which I am using it regularly. There are some other literature also. If you Google, you may find some reliable information about tautopathy as well. So what is actually, if I'm allowed, just let me show you that slide again. That will give you a clear idea. Basically, what is to use tautopathy, we need only 2 points. One is the clear cause, and second is the side effect. That's all. So if we have a clear cause, like steroid has been given, and the patient has a clear side effect of steroids, that's all we can prescribe. And then in a situation where remedy is not working, many times tautopathy comes as a second prescription. When you give the clear remedy, it's not working, and then you have to think about, like in this case, because many times cases, respond very well with similimum or the homeopathic drug. But if a remedy is not respond, but the case is not responding with remedy, where there is a block, where there is an obstacle, and the remedy is exhausted before it is producing a good effect, tautopathy can be the way. Tautopathy can be the way.
One question from Dr. Dimple Sidana.
Yeah.
Generally, patients are prescribed multiple medicines for a long period of time. Then, how do we select the medicine for tautopathy?
Which drug has produced overused, produced more side effect, and it is more what you call has produced a virulent effect. Because allopathic drugs are chemical drugs. Not it's like one patient can bear very well steroids for longer period of time. One patient produce side effect immediately. So it's all about what you call the history itself will reveal to you that which allopathic drug patient has produced a side effect, and at the same time you are also able to confirm out of your logic. So what Hahnemann tells in multiple aphorism 5, aphorism 93, aphorism 88. There are so many aphorisms where Hahnemann tells even 208. Hahnemann tells there are three ways to get information: patient himself, relatives of the patient, and our observation. If we are able to see clearly that this particular drug has produced a side effect in a patient, which patient also confirms, we also confirm, pharmacology of that allopathic drug also confirm, that should be the prescription. That should be the prescription, because patient can take any drug, but how much sensitivity to that crude drug patient has is individuality, and it can be defined by an individual only. We cannot make a general rule for that. So to your point, this is the way how tautopathy should be prescribed. It is used on the basis of causative factor, abuse of corresponding drug, and symptoms produced as side effect of the abused drug. These two information, if you have clearly, you can prescribe tautopathic drug.
And in a row, question from Dr. Devesh Desai.
Yeah.
In tautopathy 2, is it single dose or repetitions?
No single dose. It's all about homeopathy. The tautopathy is fascinating because it's something, a new substance. It's all about homeopathy. Like we give single medicine, we wait for some time with placebo. Same is with homeopathy. Same is with tautopathy. It's homeopathy only, but it's a different shade of homeopathy. So it's nothing different. Nothing different. Nothing different. And as I said, with organon reference, in fact, I can give you 10 to 12 more aphorisms from our own organon only, which guides us about side effect of allopathic drugs produced in a patient and how to nullify. But that nullified part was not up to the, before Hahnemann could do that in that particular part, his life ended, or I would say his material life ended. Right? The way he produced LM potency in the 6th edition, there are some aphorisms in which he is clear that he wants to do something about this allopathic side effect, but he couldn't do it because the time, the rule of the nature has something else to act upon. So his life ended. So from there, Dr. R.P. Patel sir took up this concept. And since I'm associated, I tell you frankly, I always used to go and ask Dr. R.P. Patel sir that, sir, what is this question? Please answer me. You know what he tells? That how many times you have read Organon, Krutik? I said, sir, 25, 30 times. The Organon which you have read for 25, 30 times, I have read for 20,000 times. Read Organon, you will get an answer. Till today, I have read Organon 350 times. But still, I feel whenever I read Organon, I find something new. And that's what I said even yesterday. The famous newsletter HPathy has published my interview. That's so in that interview as well, I said very clearly that you should read Hahnemann, follow Hahnemann, will give you lots and lots of new ideas. So I think this is, I can tell, maybe for some further question, I can write an email to them individually, because I am equally concerned about Dr. Altunai for the presentation.
No, mine's is very short, not so important.
So much, Dr. Altne. We are just trying to get few more questions, or one or two questions. Is that okay? And many of
I'm very much open.
They can email us and we can share it with the Dr. Shah. And also, Dr. Shah, would you like to share your email ID so that people can directly reach you?
Yeah. Why not? Definitely. Yeah. Just a second. Today my laptop is troubling me, I guess.
Yeah, we can share. They can let us know and we can share.
Yeah, it's Dr. Shah at the rate drkrutikshah.com.
And Dr. Sweta and Professor Regina, would you like to say anything more, please?
Thank you, everyone.
Okay, this is all about the questions, ma'am. And thank you, Dr. Krutik. And this was really a very wonderful and eye-opening, presentation. So thank you so much for sharing this thing with us. Thanks. And we have a lot of appreciating comments in the chat box. So thank you. Over to you, ma'am.
Namaskarams. It was a wonderful webinar, Dr. Krutik. And on aphorism number 9 that you said, to serve the higher purpose of your life, you are doing a great job. Thank you for sharing your wisdom. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Regina. And yes, many have thoroughly enjoyed along with we. Our study group team and everyone. It was really wonderful, and especially mapping with organ of medicine, that is philosophy and everything. It is more learning, and it's an enlightening session. Dr. Shah, thank you so much. And we would like to take privilege to honor your gracious presence and the precious time in sharing your knowledge with our study group team with our CAST certificate. Please kindly accept. And Dr. Sweta, would you like to share, please? From our CAR team. Here you go. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Okay, and all your questions, thank you so much for the attendees. We have the jot form in the chat. Please fill to get the certificate, and just hold on. We have our special guest speaker coming on, and just give me a minute, okay?